welcome back to my channel. For today's video, it is currently it's almost 9 in the morning. Another reason I'm doing this so early is because I have to leave soon. But I got up at 6 this morning and I laid in bed for like 2 hours just watching YouTube. But I'm ready for the Byeee. So I'm wearing my Mickey shirt, my Mickey and Minnie shirt. Yeah. So today I'll be talking about my favorite books. So we have quite a bit of books to talk about here. Let's count. If there's a trilogy, I'm counting it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 different things, 9 different books or book series to talk about, and I'm really excited to do this because I was like blank on my idea and I don't have a video planned, so this needs to be up next week. So all of these books are very fantastic. I will explain to you why they're on the list. Some of them helped me get into reading more, or some of them were just like so great that I cried. They're just fantastic. I loved all these books and I'm very happy I read them. Obviously, these are not everyone's first choice because I don't read a lot of books that people recommend, like the best books people recommend, like on their top 10. There's probably only like 2 or 3 books on this list that would most likely be on someone else's list. I just read a lot of books that aren't noticed that much. So yeah, before we get started, please like this video and subscribe down below and hit the notification bell. This is on way too tight. This bracelet is kind of bothering me. But anyway, without further ado, let's get started. And if there's any books anyone would like to recommend for me, then please comment them down below. I think my sister's up. I'm hungry. The first set of, the first book or books on this list are a trilogy, and that trilogy is the Haunting of Sunshine Girl trilogy, which have the Haunting of Sunshine Girl, the Awakening of Sunshine Girl, and the Sacrifice of Sunshine Girl, all by Paige Mackenzie. I read all 3 of these books, obviously. I read these about 6 months ago, maybe. And these are some books that actually got me into reading, so that's why they're on the list. But keep in mind, these are in particular order, so these are my least favorite of my favorite. But they were good and interesting to read because I'm not usually into reading anything about spooky ghost stuff. And like I said, this is a series or a trilogy that got me into reading like I do today. I love reading and I'm really happy I started reading. So yeah, I just really enjoyed these books and they were really interesting and I've never read anything like it. These are probably the only ghost related books I've ever read. So yeah, I just don't read a lot of like ghost, demons, demonic stuff. I don't. But these were pretty good. So the next book on this list is City of Orphans by Byeee, and I recently tried to reread this for the 3rd time because that's how much I like it. I decided to DNF it this time because it's too familiar. It's just too familiar, and I just knew what was going to happen. I always know what's going to happen because I read it twice, so it's just not as shocking and interesting as it was the first 2 times I read it. So I decided to just put it down, start a new book, keep going, you know. It's a fantastic book. You may have saw my first video on this channel where I opened up a book outlet package and this was the first book I pulled out, I'm pretty sure. It's very good. I really like it and it's just nice. I really enjoyed this book 2 times in a row. If you want to go see the explanation or like synopsis or whatever, if you want to go hear what this book is about, then you can check out my first video on this channel where I tell you what it's about. So next is another trilogy, 3 books trilogy, and it is the Burn for Burn trilogy by Jenny Han. It has Burn for Burn, Fire with Fire, which is a thick book. Not as thick as Harry Potter stuff, but you know. And then I have Ashes to Ashes as well. Oh, I forgot to mention Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. So, I don't really know how to pronounce the names. I know Jenny Han, obviously, easy, but like Siobhan, is it Siobhan or is it like Siobhan? I don't know her name very well. I haven't read any other books by Siobhan Vivian, but I do have like 2 or 3 more by her. I love this trilogy so much. So it's about these 3 girls named Kat, Mary, and Lilia who find each other somehow. I forgot how. Someone in their life has like hurt them hurt them in a way, and they decide to get together and start like a gang of some sort, kind of a little bit like a group, and they try to like sabotage and get revenge on the people who have hurt them. And it's very interesting. I've never read a book like this before. It's another book that got me into reading. It has a lot of romance, it has a lot of drama. Also, once you get to like the 3rd book, I think it's the 3rd book. The 3rd book, there's like I'm not even gonna say it because it'll like spoil it, I guess. There's something in the 3rd book that you do not expect at all. And I just love these books. They're really good. The next book on this list is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and I actually read this one this summer. Oh, this was like the 5th book I read this summer. I actually bought it this summer as well. I love this book so much. It's so good. I cried because I was just so happy at the end. Very good book. I love Nicola Yoon's writing. So, by Nicola Yoon. I have not read Everything yet. I tried to read it. It was just really confusing for me. But this one was very nice and easy to read. And I just loved it so much. It's about a girl named Natasha, and a boy named Daniel who meet up one day by accident. Daniel sees her across the street and he's like, oh, and he goes over to her and he's like, I'll get you to fall in love with me in one day. And I loved it. Natasha's gonna be deported back to, I think, was it Jamaica? I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Jamaica that night, or she's supposed to, and Daniel just doesn't know that yet, and then he finds out, and it's so good. I love this book so much, and I just love the cover. I don't know why. I love the color, like the blue. I like this color a lot better than I like this cover a lot better than the other cover, which is like, you know, those spikes of different color. And it does have exclusive like movie pictures in it. I bought this from Walmart in the book section. It's got some movie pictures in it. Great book. I love this book so much. Next, I have the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy. And I tried not to put the same author in here, but I love Jenny Han. She's my favorite author. I love her books so much for some reason. Just a lot of romance and drama. It's so good. So, there's To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever Lara Jean. I read these a little bit after Christmas. I think I read these immediately after I read the Haunting of Sunshine Girl trilogy. Like, obviously I said the Haunting of Sunshine Girl trilogy really helped me with my reading, but these ones really got me into reading. These ones really helped me. They're so good. I loved them so much. They're way better than the movie, and I'm really excited for the second movie to come out soon. The next book I have on this list is another book that I read this summer, and it is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It's a great book. I love it so much. 2 award stamps. 2! I'm pretty sure there's 3 now. This is one of them that I knew would be on a lot of other people's lists. I got this at Walmart this summer as well. And I also bought On the Come Up at Walmart. Actually, my mom got me these ones this summer. Thank you, Mom. My mom bought me these ones, and I love this book so much. This book was maybe the fifth or sixth book I read this summer. I'm not really sure. I'm on my 12th book right now of the summer, which is pretty good. Pretty dang good, because no one else reads. But this book is so good. I love it so much. So it's about a 16-year-old. Sorry about that. This is about a 16-year-old girl named Star Carter, and she witnesses her best friend Khalil. She witnesses her best friend Khalil die in front of her. She sees it. So this whole controversy starts going. It's on the news, and everyone's rooting for the cop who killed Khalil, and it's just a very important story. I love the way Angie Thomas wrote this. It's just a very meaningful story that I feel like everyone should read, and I feel like everyone in the world should read this book. Great book. Like I said in a couple other videos, I'm not that great at explaining books, but trust me on this one. And I should have read it through the whole thing. I feel bad for not reading the whole thing by myself. I actually read like half of it by myself, and half of it was on like, not an audiobook, but I looked up YouTube people who read it to me. And I felt like it would have meant more if I read it. But I was kind of in like a reading slump because I read a lot already this summer. Like I read like 4 or 5 books before this, and I was like, hey, that's pretty good, I'm done, but like I was just in a little bit of a reading slump, so it was kind of like hard for me to get through this book for some reason. But I feel like it would have meant more to me if I read it all by myself. But it was still a great book. Plus, spine is very nice. I really like the spine of this book. Did you hear that? That was my stomach. The next book on this list is Marley and Me by John Grogan. Actually, movie's very good too. So there's a movie to this book, and I watched the movie before I read the book, which I feel like is wrong of me because I feel like everyone tells me to read the book before the movie of everything. I loved it so much and it made me cry. And then after we watched the movie, we actually had to get rid of our dog because she was not potty trained at all. She peed on the carpet. She did everything wrong. And we actually got a new dog right after that, and she is a Labrador Retriever, just like that one. And her name is Marley because after watching the movie, we got a lab and we named it Marley. I just love this book so much. And obviously we named it after this dog. But just cute. It made me so sad when I read this book because we had Marley, our dog, we had Marley when I read this book, and it just made me so sad. But like I cried when Marley was old and couldn't get up the stairs because it was sad because I had my own dog named Marley and it just reminded me of my Marley. So I just love this book. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so good. It's about a dog named Marley. They go through this crazy adventure throughout his whole life. It tells you about his life. And he's a very crazy dog. And it's just cute. My Marley was crazy, but now she's very calm and like she listens to everything I say mostly. Wow, what am I doing? My Marley is very smart, and this one is too. But it was just sad seeing how lively this dog was, and then watching it all end, watching his life go by. It was just really sad. It was a very heartfelt book. I just love this book. This book is just fantastic. Get it. It's great. I love it. And next I have Next, I have the Hunger Games trilogy. I feel like this one is another one that's on everyone's list mostly. I read these towards the end of my 7th grade school year. So actually, I finished these right dang before the school year ended. So I finished these about 2.5 months ago. Great books, very fresh in my mind. So obviously, I think the Hunger Games book is my favorite out of the 3 because, I don't know, it was just so cool to see Katniss in like the Hunger Games and just like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to give spoilers, and I just cried so hard. I already knew what was going to happen in this book, because I watched the first movie. I have seen parts of the second 2 books, but I didn't remember any of it because I was so young. But this one I specifically remember in my mind because it was really good. It was so good. I cried so hard at one part, and you'll know what part it is when you get to it. And it was just so good. It's by Susan Collins. I didn't mention that. But this has the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. Read all of them. Fantastic. The final book on this list, I read this one really early in the summer, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's on one of my videos. Can you guess? So it's on my 24-hour readathon video. Sorry, that didn't come out right. My readathon video. And it didn't go as planned. But I read one of the best books. It is the best book. It's my favorite book ever. I love this book so much. So this is gonna be a duology soon. I got this at Shopko when Shopkos were closing, if you don't remember that. This one took me a little while to read because like I love Tommy Adeyemi's writing. Like, it's all fantasy. And it's so good. But this book is so good, and I love it so much, and I cannot wait for the second one coming out in December. I think on the 11th it's coming out of December 2019. And my birthday is the 13th of December. So hopefully I'll get this for my birthday or Christmas or something like that. I don't know. I just love this book so much. And I am so excited for Children of Virtue and Vengeance to come out. Go into stores. Let me pick it up and read it. So yeah, I just love this book, and I definitely recommend it to everyone. And it was my first, like, very much of a fantasy read. I don't usually like fantasy. I don't think I do, at least. But after reading this, I want to try some fantasy out. It's fantasy, and it's, like, magic, and there's a hint of romance in there that I really liked. So if you want to see a little bit more of my opinion on this book, like, while I read it, then you can watch my 24-hour readathon video, Gone Wrong, on my channel, because I explain more about what I feel about this book. I'm just really excited to get to the second one of this, and I'm excited to read it again. Great book. I recommend it to everyone. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching today's video. I'm sorry I was a little quiet at the beginning of the video. It's because my sister was asleep, and I didn't want to wake her, but now that she is partially awake, I don't mind. I'm super excited to get to more books. I feel like this list is always going to switch up and change a little bit, but that Children of Blood and Bone, that's staying there. I think it's staying there. Anyway, I just loved all of these books, and I recommend it to everyone. Obviously, some books will not fit other people's, like, personal opinions, but I loved all of the books on this list, and a lot of these books helped me start getting into reading, like, often. Every single one of these books on this list has helped me in some way to get me to where I am today. All these books have helped me get into a reading, all these books have helped me get into the love of reading. All of these books on the list have helped me love reading so much, and they've got me where I am today, and I just love reading so much, and I'm very thankful for all of my books. But anyway, I hope you guys like this video and subscribe and hit the notification bell after you subscribe, because then you won't miss out on any of my videos. I post every week, any day, whenever I want to, I guess, but I post videos every week. Tell me if you've read any of these books on the list today and you've enjoyed them. If you think any of these books should be ranked higher than they were or lower than they were. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you all next week. I almost said Monday. Next week. Bye. Bye.